Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Sunday edition of Today at the Races, right here at the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park. I'm Dan Illman, along with the Equibase ace, Keith Fustel. Keith, a really nice card yesterday, including the $100,000 Twixt Stakes. Now, I know you liked Foxy Jr. That was your play of the day, and Foxy Jr. turned what looked like a competitive race on paper into an absolute procession. She loves this course.
Loves Laurel, and at no point really leaving the far turn. I was calling that chart. I was just spying the rider Torres and just relaxed, just poised to go at any time. Cruised up 4 wide, seized command top of the stretch, and it was over. Quickly opened up 4 or 5 near mid-stretch and won under a drive. Unfortunately, unable to get that 20-1 morning line. Thought we might get 5. How about last second? Well, the last 30 seconds, 8-1 to 7-2 to what, 5-2?
Well, you have tremendous influence over the betting here in Maryland. I think the fans are probably waiting for the last second to take the plunge when they saw the price and they knew they were had your selection and your confidence. Foxy Jr. will likely come back to defend her championship in the Maryland Million Distaff. She is 3 for 3 at Laurel. All of those wins in stakes races. It will be good to see her back. She and Jomar Torres, ever since they have combined on dirt, are 8 for 10.
Wow. That's a couple of other good performances. Estacada yesterday, an 83 initial buyer figure winning race 2. Alani had to kind of work through a little bit of traffic in between horses to get up there middle of the card. And Kira McGee with back-to-back winners. Moe's Glitter, a 2-year-old first-time starter, got it done, was really sharp out of the gate. A little drift out early, then opened up and then held sway at 1660. Wonder Girl followed that up on the turf.
Let's take a look at our weather conditions for today's racing. We had some rain overnight. The main track is sloppy, but the good news is we are still on the turf, and the turf is good. It's a cloudy day, but it's a pleasant 63 degrees, and it's nice to cool off a little bit.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Just I did not expect this much rain. Again, projected forecast. Let's hope it holds true. It looks really good for the next 8 or 10 days. Lower to mid-70s, a lot of sunshine. It'll dry that turf course out and the main track. But we're going to deal with what the hand that we got. We're gonna deal with it today. I think we're ready to roll. I got a couple little shots along the way too. I think this is a card where a couple prices could jump up and grab you.
9-race program. Of course, the featured 8th race is the $100,000 Polynesian Stakes. Post time 9 for 9, lifetime at Laurel Park. The reigning Maryland-bred horse of the year is here to defend his title in the Polynesian. We'll get to post time in a little bit, but let's kick things off with race number 1. Taking a look at the field. But first, we have the 2025 Charm City Late Pick 5. There's still time to sign up. This is one of those pick and pray handicapping contests on the last 5 races of each Laurel Park card throughout the entire meet. The one with the highest cumulative earnings gets a giant grand prize, and if you happen to select a cold late pick 5, you get to win or share $500. Not a bad deal for a free contest.
For free, you better jump right in. It's a good opportunity, and you don't have to spend any money. Man.
Here's race number 1. 5.5 furlongs on the bowl game turf course, 3 and up. Claiming price $8,000 or less in their last 3 starts, or the claiming price $12,500 down to $10,000. It is the first leg of our first of 2 value pick 5 wagers. We call it the value pick 5 because of the low 12% takeout rate. And Keith, I know you have a ticket.
Had another good payout yesterday in a late pick 5, close to $1,800. I think we only had one double-digit winner. That was Moe's Glitter at $1,660, and a couple shorter prices. $1,700 and change was your prize. All right, early value pick 5, 12% takeout. I think the first race, Covert Cat looks to me like an possible all or nothing. Don't completely trust. He's got some antics during his races that get him in a little bit of trouble. I spread around 2, 3, 4, and 5. Race 2 with the 2, 3, and 4. A little and a lot didn't mind that rain that we had last night. This morning really likes the off track for Jamie, and that's going to try to take him wire to wire. Here's my single. Wait till midnight hour. Now I got to deal with a little bit of a maybe give in the ground. But man, Trombetta, the way he's going, Ruiz, the combination very good, and she's in good form on the turf. Race 4. 2-5. She's a hot mess. Anita Beer. If you want to throw in one more, she got the money. Munnings on and off track always wakes me up when I see that. And race 5, we're going to wrap it up a little bit of a pricer with a 1 Fabia, a 15-1 on the morning line. Yets at Hazelwood. And we're going to also toss in the 3 Canadian Bear. We have a stat for that Kieran McGee runner a little bit later on. $24 for that early value pick 5. That's a good base add-on if you like. I think you're going to have to a little bit. This isn't the easiest of sequences.
Take advantage and maximize your earnings potential with the low 12% takeout in both of our pick 5 wagers. Let's start things off with race number 1. Now, the morning line favorite is a horse you mentioned, the 2 Covert Cat, a horse that might be all or nothing, 9-5 on the line. Personally, I don't love horses that are cutting back drastically in distance on turf. But the last time this horse did sprint on turf, 5.5 furlongs, you have to go back 2 years, but she won at Colonial. I think this race is so evenly matched, though I don't want to take a short price.
No, that's true. And just what he does. Rank, you see Keen, bore out, rank, a lot of issues early on. But maybe that's the key. Just let the horses run away from him a little bit early. He'll be able to take back and settle and make that one run. But he's got some good sprints way back. It just might work here because I do think this will be a little bit of a contested pace. I think the horse from the inside, One Whirlwind Ride, your top selection, going to be a decent price for Bruno Tessori, will be part of that flow. Moncrief, my top selection. We have a video spotlight. Let's go to it. I think Smitten Enough is going to go ahead and go as well from the outside. But I think Moncrief can sit. Let's talk about this video spotlight.
I'm really happy you picked this video spotlight because it looks like Moncrief is having some trouble with these tight turns. It looks like he's trying to bear out a little bit, and maybe the tight turns at Penn National work against him. He's also in behind. This horse on the lead is a very sharp horse. Tarsus Warrior is 5-2. He wins this race. He comes back and places in a state-bred stakes race at Penn National with an 86 buyer. Moncrief is running into a good horse here and is trying hard to the wire. This horse, I think, is going to really appreciate the more banked turf course here at Laurel Park, and she has had success here in the past.
Yeah, I like the record over this turf course. That was good. I actually called that chart that night. You see my short comment, steadied along 3/8, inside stubbornly. This horse is trying every step of the way. He's going to need just a perfectly timed move. Once he gets engaged, top of the stretch, I think he's going to be right there in the mix, 3/16 to the 8. He's got enough heart to dig in. Can he have just enough left to hold off some horses making that run from the back of the pack?
I went with One Whirlwind Ride, and I know this horse has a lot of second-place finishes on his record, but he was holding pretty good form, at least from a buyer's speed figure standpoint, from last fall all the way through May or so, running buyer's speed figures in the mid-70s, high 70s, low 80s. And then they ran him at Monmouth in one race, and it didn't work out. And then they ran him on dirt, and I'm not interested in that. And the last race, he's 50-1 and probably overmatched at Colonial. And I didn't think it helped him that he was shuffled back a little bit in the opening quarter mile to mid-pack. I think he can be forward for Bruno Tessori, who can pop at a price.
Okay, and Big Daddy's Boy, another horse running at Colonial Downs last time out. This horse, that was his turf debut. He's run 23 times. That was his first start on the turf. I thought it was sneaky good. Yes, he got help. He got help, a little bit of a contested pace up front. The fractions were there. Broke slowly, stayed inside. Was just slightly hesitant to go through along the inside, leaving mid-stretch. But once he got through, he picked things up, and I love the gallop out. I think he's going to fit perfectly in this spot at a good number, 10-1 morning line, Villa Lobos, Gina Perry.
I agree with everything you said about that horse.
By the Seashore is a good horse. Yeah.
That was a really kind of sneaky, tough trip. Like to see him break a little bit better here, but want to see him get to the outside and make a clear run. You mentioned Smitten Enough as the potential speed in this race. I agree with you. I think Smitten Enough is going to make the lead coming out of the gate. And I think Smitten Enough is a horse that's a little bit dirtied up because 2 starts back at Pimlico, you could argue this horse was in against tougher. Cactus was in excellent form at that point. Smitten Enough got caught up in a speed duel with a horse that was 6-1 and wound up finishing last. Smitten Enough at least hung in there for a while before tiring, and I liked that this barn, a barn that specializes sprinting on the turf, gave this one a prep at Timonium the other day to sharpen the speed.
Yes, he's got the best of both worlds. I think he might have the fastest horse early. Smitten Enough, that's Hassan Alamri, and a closer in Claudie Boy sits back and makes that circling type of run with Toledo. This is a tricky little race. Covert Cat doesn't fire. It's anybody's horse race. I think Island Delight's another horse, the 5 you got to take into consideration.
Looks like a spread to start off our first of 2 value pick 5 wagers with a low 12% takeout. Keith's going Moncrief 4-3-2-5. I'll go 1-4-7-8. Let's move on to race number 2. Taking a look at this field, we're going a 1 one-turn mile on the main track. It's for 3 and up, which have not won 2 races since March the 7th, or which have never won 4 races. The claiming price, $75 down to $6,000. Take out the 7, Southern District. This is the first of our 3 pick 4 wagers on the afternoon. It is a 50-cent minimum play. The pick 4s during the winter meet, during the spring meet, paid very, very well, and I would expect more of the same in the summer. Get involved. If you get knocked out of the pick 5, get back involved in the pick 4. If you're alive in the pick 5, get greedy and get involved in the pick 4. We want to start things off, Keith, with a horse that we both like in here, and that is the number 4, A Lil and a Lot. And this horse, I thought, always found a little bit more on the lead last time out, but what I really like about A Lil and a Lot, twofold. A, looks like the main speed in here. B, loves a wet track.
Loves a wet track. C, you look at the conditions of the race. It's a 7,500, not won 2 races since March 7th, never won 4. This guy's won 3 for 8 this year. Recent win, the Open 5 doesn't count. He's a winner. This horse wants to get to the front, and I think he can. I think he can shake clear early. Rodriguez a little bit aggressive, maybe leaving the chute to go ahead and control it. We'll see if he stays just off the inside, see how this track is going to play, but A Lil and a Lot. I altered some picks here in race 2 because of what happened overnight with this rain. I originally liked Mr. Jefferson as a little bit of a value. Watch it burn me now. He just hasn't run as well on an off track as the 4, A Lil and a Lot.
Mr. Jefferson could arguably be the best closer in this race, however, and maybe Sin Permiso, a horse that also really excels on the wet track, can take this race to A Lil and a Lot in the early portion of the race. And it's not like Pudge Boy Palace and Morning Thoughts are slow either. So Mr. Jefferson has a lot of back class and gets some plenty of weight off with a 10-pound apprentice.
Great point about the 1. He could be a nuisance up front if he decides to go ahead and go. We've seen this horse run off the screen that one day. That was an impressive performance at a good number. I got to change it. I'm 4-3, 5 and 2. I'm sorry, I maybe didn't send in that edit in race number 2. 4-3, 5-2 because the 7 Southern District is out. Mr. Jefferson, I'll talk about a little bit. I think coming back, dropping into a condition claimer is going to work. Maybe one of those victims of Colonial in the fact that the speed kind of carries. He was on a hard chase, just couldn't really kind of get a chance to relax and bring a finish. I think the jock, I think Brenton Arnold's going to be okay. I think he's going to gain some traction. 10-pound apprentice rider here for Lacey Gaudet. A couple races over to Moni was watching him a little bit closer. I think there's some ability there. Keep an eye because you're going to get some prices with Brenton Arnold. So I go there, and I also go Pudge Boy Palace. Again, running back quickly. Corrales, doesn't bother me too much. This is one, he's been okay on a wet track. He has positional speed. I think he can go ahead and lay just off, get a stalking trip today and make a run into it.
And another horse that just seems dirtied up is Pudge Boy Palace. He was 3rd at this class level back on May the 4th. I thought he was overmatched when he got bet against allowance horses, and now they've run him in the bull ring where he may not be at his best. So this could be the spot for Pudge Boy Palace. We have a trainer stat for the 6 Morning Thoughts, who returns to the Jonathan Maldonado barn. When they wheel horses back on short notice, it pays dividends. Within a week, 3 for the last 14, 21%, a $3.90 return on investment. Another horse that just didn't really fire a timonium last time out. But I think this is a horse that is going to appreciate getting back to Laurel. He won over this course in distance back in June, but he got a little bit of pace help.
Yeah, he's better at Laurel. And again, he was just caught wide every step of the way around the turns. Just never got into gear. I was against him at a short price there. I just didn't think that race was going to be suitable for him. But today, coming back to a track, he's really thrived here. It's like 6 wins out of 18 starts with 3 seconds and 5/3. He's back to his favorite track.
But we'll see if Jamie Rodriguez can control things on the lead, or at least be close to it when they turn into the long stretch. We like A Lil and a Lot. 4-3-5-2 for Keith. 4-6-5-2 for me. Race number 3 is an allowance race on the Exceller turf course. We're going 5.5 furlongs for fillies and mares 3 and up, which have not won a race other than maiden, claiming or starter, which have never won 2 races. The 3, Wait Till Midnight Hour, we'll talk about in a minute. But first, this is the first leg of our middle pick 4 wager. 50-cent minimum bet once again. We've got early, middle, and late on 9 race programs. Wait Till Midnight Hour, 9 to 5 on the morning line. Deservedly so, considering what we've seen from this horse in the past. And we do have a video spotlight on the 3, Wait Till Midnight Hour.
Yeah, came back in very, very good form at Colonial Downs. Off a little bit of a break from March to mid-August, but Wait Till Midnight Hour. We're going to pick up the trip around the turn. Hung out a little bit wide, coming about 4 wide here, top of the stretch. brings a run, just kind of denied. We talked about this race, and this horse, Sophia, who's come back to run well on the jump up in class. And Silver Trinket's also in this race. We're going to show this race again later. Maybe we won't. We don't need to bring that video back for Silver Trinket, who was in here as well, lacking a little bit of room in behind. Maybe we will. But
we will.
I thought Wait Till the Midnight Hour still ran credibly. Big number, maybe, again, slightly inflated the Colonial, not sure, but she fits against these. I think she's going to get a perfect inside-out trip this afternoon.
That pace was very fast, and she made the first move into the pace, and you saw that a late kicker just got her at the end. And I think the pace here will be more reasonable. I think it'll be slower. That could help her late kick. And Michael Trombetta, the barn going so well. 3 winners on opening day Friday. Second off 120 to 180 day layoffs recently. 27% winners, almost a $3 return on investment. This horse has excellent tactical speed. Keith, let's talk about the 8 Shine On Moon. This horse looked so good rallying in all the way back in the career debut. The only time, by the way, this horse ever ran on a wet turf course, she won.
Yeah, it was a really, really good effort back in June prior to the break. A little bit of a layoff, but that was a good field. Makes that run, wins off clear at 3/4. Okay, may have to be put in the ball game a little bit sooner, but it's right behind Wait Till the Midnight Hour, going back on the page, freshened up, 5th different rider in as many starts. Nobody wants to consistently stay on Shine On Moon, but I think she's good here. This is an interesting race from a pace flow standpoint. I think in my memories, first-time turf for Ferrier is going to go ahead and try to make a run and steal this on the front end. Lady Ensign, I don't know if she's got quite that kind of speed. The Jimmy Creeds we've seen it stretches, so if you want to throw in the 5 at a little bit of a number, you may want to do so. But I'm going to key around the horses I think are going to make this run from just off the pace. The 3 Wait Till Midnight Hour, the 8 Shine On Moon. Shared Shenanigans out of a really good mare, sharing grade 1 type. This is going to be second Lasix turf. Faced mainly, I know that was an open race at Woodbine. It was mainly fillies in that race when I went back and looked. But I think she can kind of jump up and make a little bit of an improvement.
The 9 Worth a Dime is a horse that I think is worth a chance because her debut was the only time she ran on a good turf course, much like Shine On Moon, and she kicked very powerfully for Tim Keefe and beat Yo Adrian, a horse that won here yesterday that seems to have a little bit of ability. Ran second to Shine On Moon and only her second lifetime start while conceding significant experience to that horse. And then last time out, maybe it was just simply the Colonial factor. Didn't perhaps handle that course when behind Wait Till Midnight Hour. This horse is going to appreciate getting back to this surface. The key is stay close because I don't think the pace is going to be blazing. I agree with you. The 5 and the 1 are the pace setters.
Okay.
3, 8, 4, and 1 for Keith. 3, 9, 8, and 2 for me. In race number 3 on Sunday at Laurel Park. Race number 4, 7/8 of a mile. It's a maiden claiming race for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. The claiming price $12,500 down to $10,000. Maryland breds are eligible for the $15,000 price. Pick 6. First leg, this is, of our 20-cent Chesapeake Pick 6 jackpot wager. The carryover, we're slowly growing. We're up to $1,513. If you happened to pick the winner of all of the final 6 races on the card, and you're the only one to do it, you get the entire pot. That's how the jackpot wager works out. Taking a look at race number 4, we'll move over our picks right now. Keith, you like the 2, She's a Hot Mess. I like the 2, She's a Hot Mess. She's a Hot Mess runs well on wet tracks.
Yes.
She's a Hot Mess has best races have come at Laurel Park. And last time out, I just thought the track worked against her. She runs against a runaway on a speed-favoring surface.
You see that a lot at Delaware Park, it seems, and going back. But I've got her listed, one word next to her. She's a trier. She's not super fast. Jason Smith with a win on opening day. Good to see. A smaller barn got it done. Anita Beer is going to be an awfully short price for Kenny Cox, and rightly so on the drop down. We do have a stat for that. Well, let's talk about She's a Hot Mess. I think the blinkers going on is going to be the key. To stay close and grind it out at 7/8. I think she's got the heart to carry that last 1/8 of a mile.
I like horses cutting back in distance from 1 mile to 7 furlongs, 2 turns to 1. I think it gives them plenty of stamina. The blinkers on will allow this horse to be closer to the pace. And again, speed did very well at Delaware that day. She's a Hot Mess mess, tried to rally from the back, finished up on her wrong lead. The blinkers might help her focus. Getting back to Anita
Yeah,
Beer,
we
again,
show that.
congratulations to Kenny Cox, 400th win recently at Timonium. Look for 401 with Anita Beer. And when this barn cuts him back in distance, route to dirt sprint, pay attention. 5 for the last 17, 29% to $3.31 ROI. Just another horse that really didn't fire last time out at Colonial, arguably against a much better field. I think we'll see a lot more speed here.
I didn't know where that speed came from 2 races back. I was a little surprised going 3/4. Was up close to that early internal 22 and 3, 46 and change. Now, best race on her page, visually to me, had a little hiccup out of the gate, but straightened and corrected at Pimlico over a muddy sealed surface, similar to what it might be in race number 4 today. This horse finished up quite well, but looking at the rest of the field, I think she's got to be fairly close. She's going to try to stalk and pounce. You think she'll make the lead?
I think Anita Beer's going to try to make the lead in
Okay.
here, unless someone is really aggressive. I think that pace that she did show that you mentioned, that surprising speed, if she shows that here, she can get to the front. There are far worse places to be than on the lead going 7 against fellow maiden claimers. I want to talk about your third pick. She got the money because I thought this horse had kind of a sneaky trip last time out. It was a situation where she's 5 path going on to the back stretch at the back of the pack. She was steadied a little bit when a horse came out into her. She had to angle down to the inside. She tried very hard for second behind a 2-to-1 winner that's in very sharp form that came back to win the next start. I know she's over 13, but that race over a muddy track showed me she's in form.
Yeah, I think she's got the ability. Turning back a furlong, getting back to one turn. It's going to work for her today. Munning's topside, I talked about that earlier in the show. Always respect that on an off track. You're going to get that today. I think she's got the money. Again, might have that best sustainable run. You hear me say that a lot, but I think she might be the one to be able to kind of get that inside trip, little coverage around the turn, work out and find a path turning for home and make that run to run down these horses. I would not leave out she got the money in the exam.
And I don't want to count the number 1 Messy Lou out completely. This horse ran into a 1-to-10 shot last time out. The track at Delaware that day was inside speed friendly. Messy Lou just got forced out very wide going into the first turn. Tried to cut the corner into the stretch, but was just no match for that odds-on favorite. First time with blinkers, we showed a little bit of improvement that day.
You got Yetzit at 15-1. Do not leave out a rider like Yetzit Hazelwood at that kind of number.
Not only because of his talent, but because she gets weight. Messy Lou gets 15 pounds from horses like the morning line favorite, Anita Beer. Maybe she's a hot best, feels pretty in blinkers. 2-5-4-3 for you, 2-5-1-4 for me in race number 4. 4 down, 5 to go on a Sunday morning at Laurel Park. We'll be back in a minute, and when we return, it's the second late value pick 5 wager. Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan. He's Keith. We're getting set for the final 5 races of the card on Sunday, which means it is time for the late value pick 5. 12% takeout, low wager. Please take advantage. Maximize your earning potentials. Our friend and colleague Mackenzie Pfeiffer has graciously sent in a late pick 5 ticket for us. And here it is. And not a surprising single, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, 36 hammers. Yeah, the single. I think that's going to be a pretty popular single today, wouldn't you think? In race number 8, the Polynesian, some horse named Post Time. Never heard of him. All right, race 5 to get you started. Spreadarama 2, 3, 4, and 9. Ecliptical Gina. Named after the wife. Okay, all right. A little bit of a price there at 10-1 on the morning line. I think this is a really tricky race to get you started in the value pick 5. Race 6 with the 6, 7, and 8. Holy Storm, they're staring at you at 20-1 on the morning line. Race 7 with the 1, 3, 6. Silver Trinket. We will show that race again from Colonial. A little bit of traffic upper stretch. Race number 8. There it is. Post Time. Unfortunate scratches of the 2 inveigled and the 5 light the way. Brittany Russell at a 1-9 here, it looks like, with Post Time in race 9. We'll complete this late value pick 5 again with a 12% low takeout. 3 and the 8. They look like the logical horses in race 9. And Radiant Tones at a 4-5 on the morning line with Forest Boys and Queen Rocket trying to bounce back from that effort at Colonial. It's a $36 late pick 5.
Late value pick 5 again. 12% takeout, 50-cent minimum wager. Race number 5, here's the field going a mile and a 16th on the bowl game turf course. Fillies and mares 3 and up started for a claiming price of 16 or less, and which have never won 2, with a claiming price 16 down to 12.5. And which have never won 2.
Okay.
Let's start things off, Keith, with your top pick. Fabia trying turf for the first time for Hammy Smith.
I'm going to need a little Smith family, like middle daily double here, if we can get it done with Fabia. This is a horse that really impressed in the debut back in June. Got it done on the front end, pretty sharp internals after acting up a little bit, and kicked away by 8. And after that, one little hiccup in that tough race, the allowance, it was maybe just too much of a reach. But she's gotten back on her game. Now I'm going to try the turf. Interesting little move. The bottom side is what I like, theatricality. Done talking top side, not so much. But I've seen, one or two of the siblings did okay. I think Done Acting was a horse that had some success. And I think catches the field with a lack of real flow. I want to see Fabia into the mix early. Again, Yetz at Hazelwood, we're getting in a good number, 15-1. We saw a Hammy first turfer the other day run big. A good second, had a little traffic. Fabia might just stay around.
Fabia, again, has a lot of upside potential. We've seen some speed from this horse in the past. I think can work out a good trip going a mile and a 16th. I'm giving Incisive Kitten one more chance.
Okay.
We have a trainer stat from Michael Trombetta. Second after 61 to 120-day layoffs on turf, 11 for the last 43, 26%, a 263 ROI. I've been following Incisive Kitten since her last start last year, a race where I thought she had to alter course twice in the stretch, in behind horses, and was still running on. Since then, they ran this horse off the layoff. Okay, I was willing to give her that race. Maybe she was overmatched for the 25,000 starter 2 starts back. She did nothing last time out at Colonial, but her 3 races at Colonial have all been bad. I think she's better here at Laurel. I want to give her one more chance at 12.5, second off the layoff.
A bunch of horses here with very similar running styles. They lag a little bit, 5, 6, 7 out of it. Far turn, they try to ramp up a grinding run to get it done. You look at Scholar, you look at Canadian Bear, Incisive Kitten the same way. I think the speed's going to come from the 7, Princess Clemmy, Suzanne Sistenius. Congrats getting the win there the other day on the front end. But I think the 1 and the 7, they're the flow. Okay, who's going to go ahead and make that run? I think Canadian Bear going second time off the claim for Kieran McGee. He can get that good covered up trip. A jump up with some traffic last time out. Check first turn of Colonial. Back to the right kind of level. We got a stat for trainer Kieran McGee. You don't really see this a whole lot with the turf runners. If we can go to the stat for the 3, Canadian Bear, guys. But there it is, trainer Kieran McGee. The last 3 years on the turf, 5 for 18, second off the claim with a good ROI of 263. I like that. I like the positioning down inside with Centano.
Nice class relief, I think, here for Canadian Bear, who was in against a horse named La Cantera last time out. That horse came back and ran second in a $30,000 claimer at Colonial, earned a 72 buyer. Canadian Bear just fits very well here. Scholar will throw up that trainer stat again. I think Scholar's going to be up and on the lead in here. Scholar going out for Trombetta, who's barn between August 5th and September the 3rd, not counting the 3-win day on Friday, 28%, 228 ROI. Interesting that this horse had the claim voided last time out at Colonial. Didn't show a lot of early speed in that race, but the big win came. Turf debut over this course and distance when she got to the front.
Got to the front, was able to slow it down. I don't know if she's as quick as a couple of these other horses, but again, might be forward enough. And the move in post position, another outside-inside move that I like here, going 8 post, 10 post, the last 2. Going to be able to save a little bit more ground to finish that last out winner battling time. Brittany Russell horse came back to win at Colonial.
We both have the 2 Ecliptical Gina in this field. I thought Ecliptical Gina ran well last time out, wired by a 9-2 favorite at Penn National. I like the way the jock handled this horse. Avoided a wide run on the turn, stayed inside, got the split, and this horse ran on for second. A horse that she finished ahead of, came back and earned a 61 buyer in her subsequent start. I can see Ecliptical Gina doing better with a tactical trip.
The blinkers went on, 2 starts back. I think this horse has a little bit more tactical speed, and I like it's the second route in a row. I think we're going to see a little bit more finish, and didn't get the help up front that she needed at Penn. I think she just might get a little bit more this afternoon. Again, another horse like Canadian Bear and Scholar. I like these horses to be able to save ground, anything that can kind of help them till they make that final run, say from the quarter pole home, because if you're hung way, way wide, that could be really troublesome from the far turn.
You're going with a
Yep.
price here, though. 15-1 on the morning line for Fabia, making the debut on turf. I'm giving one more chance to Incisive Kitten. 1-3-2-4 for Keith. 8-2-4-6 for me. Race number 6, 5.5 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming race. It's one of the toughest races in the card, in my opinion. 2-year-old fillies claiming price 16 down to 12.5. Maryland breds eligible for the 20. It is the first leg of our final pick 4 of the afternoon. Again, we have 3 of them with a 50-cent minimum wager. We can go so many different ways in here, but we do have a video spotlight highlighting 2 of the horses in this race. The 8 Holy Storm, the 7 Final Engagement.
Yeah, the Holy Storm going to be a little bit better number, but Final Engagement broke very, very sharp this particular afternoon from the inside post. That is not easy to do first out at the Big T. Holy Storm just a slight hop in the air. Holy Storm a little traffic there midway on the turn, but Final Engagement is sharp, battles on inside, gives way to a horse that had experience, a Corrales runner who actually showed pretty good speed and fought it out a little bit against Maiden Special Weight Company. So take nothing away. I did not expect that kind of debut from Final Engagement. It was much improved than I thought, comparing that, looking at the siblings. Good effort. Holy Storm, sneaky good with some trouble to rally on late. This has 3 winning sibs, those Holy Storms. So take a little value shot here with the 8. 8, 7, 7, 8. I will key around those 2. But I do like your horse, Rondora Run. Also out of the race. Didn't finish too bad.
Didn't finish too bad. Maybe didn't care for Timonium that day. Claudio generally has good numbers second time out. I wish there was a little bit more black type on the bottom of this pedigree, but I'd like to see improved speed breaking from the rail. She really's got to get out of there going 5.5. I don't want her in behind horses and tasting dirt again. I think this race could be won by the Swiftest, and the Swiftest could be the number 2, Kuaga, based on the speed that she showed in her career debut at Delaware. Now, she was up close to the pace at Timonium last time out, but maybe a half mile is a little too sharp for her. 5.5 speed, that works.
The first 1/8 of a mile can really throw them off their game there. It hustled off. This horse kind of dropped back a little bit, stayed willing enough through the stretch. I like the effort to the wire. A couple races under her belt. You're right, experience could pay big dividends here for Kuaga.
Blind Love, another horse, didn't really run very well at Timonium. That was a race where speed dominated, 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way around the track. Maybe Blind Love needed the experience for Jerry Robb. Second time out, I'm expecting an improved performance.
And looking at that family bottom side, I think they want a little bit more ground. You're going to get it here going out from a half mile to 5.5. I'll let you touch upon the 4, Max Power. Interesting. We put in there in the handicapping guide again. Make use of it. It's there. It's free every racing card. And we talk about the rider's choices. Where do they go? What about Yetsit in this race?
Hazelwood was originally listed on 3 horses on the overnight. The 3, Little Miss Can't Be Wrong. The 6, One Hit Wonder. And the 4, Max Power. He's going to choose Max Power, despite the fact that Max Power ran a 0 buyer in the debut. But Max Power was at Saratoga that day, running against worlds different competition. This filly's got a little bit of pedigree, being by Maxfield, who was an okay horse on a wet track as well. I think we're going to see the real Max Power today.
And these Maxfields, they have come out a-running.
8, 7, 1, 2 for Keith, 1, 2, 5, 8 for me. Spread in multiple race wagers. Race number 7 is at 5.5 furlongs on the Exceller turf course. Fillies and mares 3 and up, which have not won a race other than maiden claiming or starter. Take out the 4, Weekend Wife. Take out the 8, Air One. I do want to talk about Silver Trinket, and we do have that video spotlight again, because this horse I thought was very unlucky. Just got outrun behind a fast pace, and you'll see the traffic she runs into.
Just settling it off of the pace, and in the clear here, leaving the 3/8 to the 5/16. Now, this is where all the trouble begins.
Just trying to split horses right now in behind, very tight spot. The horses on the lead are quickening, and she isn't able to quicken up because she's still looking for a seam to run. Now the jock spies something, and now you're going to see the best part of Silver Trinket's race. It's the last 1/8 of a mile, and she is really motoring to finish 3rd. It was a good performance for Silver Trinket, a horse that's hit the board in her last 3 starts. She's going to kick again, and it's all about whether Sheldon can get a trip, maybe get to the outside this time.
She certainly has found a home, it looks like, and improved on the turf. I have to double check. You know, this is we carry it. It's not in the racing form, which I'm looking at right now, but I do believe she wears the hood as well, and you see that a lot with these fillies and mares, and maybe that's been a little bit of a key to her improvement over the last few races.
Now, we gave her a lot of love, and we picked against her. You're going with the 3 Central Casting in here. Talk to me a bit about Central Casting as she makes her turf debut for Jamie Ness. We all remember World of Trouble. Good on dirt, very good on turf, both as a sprinter.
And I'm going to take a shot with that. And I think she's the speed of the speed. I think she'll be aggressively handled. You said it, 16% first turfs are the World of Troubles. Central Casting to me. Let's get to the front. I think she can carry it all the way.
The 5 Laurel just seems very logical, dropping out of 5 consecutive stakes races, which means she can race with Lasix once again, and that might be very important for Laurel. This horse was good enough to finish second in a graded stakes race at Saratoga last time out. Just didn't fire, went a wide against a gate-to-wire winner. I think this horse has enough tactical speed to stay close to your horse, Central Casting, get the jump on Silver Trinket, and if she's in front at the 8th pole, I'm screaming, where's the wire?
Where's the wire? She just kind of stands out to you when you see the Grade 3 competition, the really good race, 2 races back at the Coronation Cup at Saratoga. I guess she's supposed to win. George Weaver, though, 1 for 20 on the Laurel lawn the last 5 years. At that kind of a price, I'm against George Weaver. I got to go.
No, it's a fair point. It's a betting game, and you got to go with the stats sometimes, especially if there are other horses that you like. Mo Hype is the 6, and I think what Mo Hype really has going for her is that she is a proven commodity on a turf course with give. She won on soft going 2 starts back. I thought she was very game to win that race, and she beat a couple of next out winners.
Yeah, she did it with a 73 buyer, beating Yo Adrian. Yo Adrian wins yesterday with, I think, a number in that lower 70 range. That's probably what's going to win this race, somewhere maybe topped out at a 75 or 76. Again, the advantage of having that experience over a softer turf course.
A lot of things going on in race number 7. Silver Trinket off the trouble trip. Central Casting with the turf breeding on top. Laurel off the drop-in class. Mo Hype, perhaps a horse for a wet course. 3152 for Keith, 5167 for me. Time for the feature, race number 8. It's the Polynesian Stakes. It's 100 grander going a 1-turn mile. We'll scratch Inveigled. We'll scratch Light the Way. Post time was 4-5 on Ed DeRosa's Horse Racing Nation morning line. Likely now after these scratches going to be 1-9, and why not? He's the reigning Maryland-bred horse of the year. He's 9 for 9 at Laurel Park. He won this race last year. We have a video spotlight for one of our favorites, Post Time.
Yeah, Post Time. We're going to go back to the deputed testimony, if I'm not mistaken, and again, follows things up. Has to count. It was a little tough to settle early, a little rank that we got in the short comment and just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting to the quarter pole. Instead of going out, going to go ahead and try to find the split. It does find the split. A little bit of contact there, looks like, nearing the 3/16ths. But response to the pressure, going to go ahead and widen against a really nice horse and awfully cool. He's all racehorse. Wins off and beats Speediness as well. But 3 and change here under a steady hand ride for Sheldon Russell. Not the easiest of trips last time out at Saratoga.
He is obviously the horse to beat, the most likely winner on the entire program by a long way. But sometimes these 3-horse fields can become a race rider's race, and a race where tactics come into play. Post Time, I think, has shown a little bit more tactical speed this year since the blinkers have gone on, but he's likely still going to be last in the early stages. Is there a chance a horse like the stretch-out sprinter Northern Flame can get to the front and back down the fractions? And if he does, will it even matter?
That's, I don't think, but we've seen things on racetracks before, and strange things do happen. Also, Maruta coming off of the Lasix. This is another one. I do think he's got a little bit more positional speed. I think he'll get the jump. He'll make the first move into the pressure, or just go ahead and press Northern Flame, try to get the better of that one, and then look in the rearview mirror and see if he can hold off Post Time.
Yeah, some Ruta's run very well going a 1-turn mile in the past. The last 2 tries on it, got beat a nose in a stake at Colonial last summer, got beat a nose at Colonial last time out, and is a horse with some tactical speed as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see Awesome Ruta inherit the lead turning into the long stretch, and then here come the long and daunting strides of Post Time. Looking to make it 10 for 10 at Laurel Park. Post Time, 4-1 for Keith, 4-1 for me. We'll try to get Awesome Ruta into the number. Let's Let's close things out with race number 9 at a mile and a 16th on the Bowl Game turf course for maidens, fillies, and mares 3 and up. Claiming prices 16 down to 12.5. Maryland breds eligible for the 20. The horse to beat in the 4 to 5 morning line favorite is the number 3 Radiant Tones. We have a video spotlight for Radiant Tones, who has a strong Beyer speed figure advantage.
It's the most recent race at Colonial Downs, and right there out of the gate, just a little bit of a bobble. You see that for Radiant Tones. Is going to be able to go ahead and recover. In this race is Queen Rocket as well, who was on that outer post 9 of 11 that day, and I expected Queen Rocket to run a little bit better and really packed it in. Again, you're dealing with Colonial, dealing with ships, so I'm not going to really kind of hold that race against her. But Radiant Tones is going to be able to work the trip, work outward here with Forest Boys, I should say, sorry, Forest, and then make this run. Looks like a winner. Going to get it done. That and just can't quite hold on late. Beating the neck when it's all said and done. Gets run down. But Radiant Tones, I think, is poised to go ahead and graduate today for Milan Milosevic.
And Radiant Tones,
Right
Forrest
there,
gave her a really nice pocket
yeah.
trip in there. Just the pace was very fast. The first quarter was 23-22.
Yeah.
The second quarter was 23-26. For maiden claimers, those are quick paces. Radiant Tones, again, made the first run, and we saw the deep closer who took advantage of that fast pace run Radiant Tones down. I think this horse is going to be forward from the start in this spot. Let's talk a little bit about Queen Rocket again. Queen Rocket may not have run her best race last time out, but she has run competitively, especially here. Her best numbers have come perhaps on this turf course.
Yeah, her best race, going 3 back, closing against Canadian Bear, but I like to try Colonial 2 races back. If I'm looking at this field, maybe a horse like T. Rose goes. If I'm Ruiz, I want to get the jump on Radiant Tones. I think try to use that speed that she showed 2 races back to her advantage.
If you're looking for a horse at a price, consider the 6 Spice Gal, because I thought this horse had just a no-chance trip last time out. Completely wiped out when checked along the inside at the 3/8 pole, and then just never got involved after that. She's always a big price on the tote board. She just was no match for Radiant Tones 2 back, so I couldn't improve her over Radiant Tones here, but maybe Spice Gal's a little bit better than that last running line looks.
Exactly. If you're looking for that price horse to maybe go ahead and split in the exact and work and key, get out kind of a horse at maybe a 4-1, 9-2, that would be probably the most logical one. Spice Gal. The other one possibly Sultry Sky.
3, 8, 6, and 4 for Keith. 3, 6, 7, 2 for me in the finale on a Sunday card at Laurel Park. Let's go for another value play winner from you.
Yeah, we've gotten the first 2 days, which is good. She's a hot mess for me. The blinkers going on, proven over a wet surface, a horse that gives her all. She's not the fastest, but I think she just might have enough heart to get it done. Keep her in range, Pacino, top of the stretch, and maybe get the better of Anita Beer. Going to have to hold off, I think she got the money, because this daughter money is going to be making a run at it.
I'm giving Incisive Kitten one more chance. I've been chasing her for a while. This is the lowest class level she's been in for some time, and I think Incisive Kitten is going to come with a run for a red-hot Michael Trombetta barn. 21 minutes to post for race number 1. The main track is sloppy. The turf course is good. Callie Francois, Mackenzie Pfeiffer, and Dave Rodman will take you through the afternoon's action. Let's go to the top of the stands for Dave Rodman's scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.